My college experience initially was one that I would characterize by being lonely, homesick, very homesick, very young. I was 17, immature. I don't know at what age men are ever as mature as women, but it certainly wasn't at 17. I had no declared major. I had no purpose for being in college other than that my parents made me do it. I had left a girlfriend back home, and back home was 600 miles away. I did not have college-level study habits. In summary, it was a prescription for disaster.
My first year of college was awful. I just decided right in the middle of my first year that I wasn't going to finish.
But I left Duke after my sophomore year. I found a fella and got married and left and was gone for 10 years.
My first grades were 3 Fs, 2 Ds, and an A. And the only way I got out of that abysmal performance was by getting a new academic advisor who genuinely cared about me and could help me make a better set of decisions. And especially what got me out was finding an older, wiser student and beginning to emulate his success strategies, particularly learning how to take lecture notes.
And my grandmother, who was an immigrant, who came over from Russia, had never had an education, just gave me holy hell. And she said, I have a friend, she has a granddaughter who's on the University of Maryland newspaper. Here's the number, call her. Well, I very timidly called, and I was there working that night, and it just transformed me. I became part of a group. We call it engagement today. Now I know the importance of it. Back then, it just sort of happened. We didn't call it anything.
And so I came back to Duke 10 years later and had sort of a totally different first-year experience. It was an experience as an adult. I was self-motivated at that point, wasn't concerned about relationships. I was in class every time the doors opened. I never missed, I never skipped. And it was a much richer experience for me. So, you know, as I think about my college experience, it was in 2 phases. One in the early 1960s, when I was 18, and really in many ways not ready for college, as many students are today. And then in the 1970s, when I was an adult and much more self-motivated.
So the first year, I almost didn't make it. Ended up on academic probation, lucky to get off. My goal in life ever since has been to ensure that college students don't have an abysmal beginning like I had.
I don't like to see students fail. If they don't do the work, they fail, but I keep kicking them and keep kicking them because I think that's what a good teacher does. I also was very much into advising, and not just academic advising, personal counseling. And all of that came out of the training for the freshman seminar course.
Not only was there no Write book, there was no book at all for the first year seminar, and we desperately felt we needed one. We had hundreds and hundreds of students taking this course, and without a textbook, it didn't look like a real college course. So we wanted a real college textbook for a real college course.
Based on our conversations with faculty and staff at both 2-year and 4-year colleges, public and private, we think one of the critical issues in student success is this whole sense of purpose. And so as we have worked to revise through the years the order of chapters in our books and what might be a good opening for the book, we created the first chapter as exploring your purpose for college. And we think that if we can help students clarify a sense of purpose for going to college, that will be motivational for them.
My role as an advisor made me realize that this textbook had to be written for the whole student, not just the academic side of the student, but the affective side of the student, I mean, the life of the student. So our topics go from study skills, which we have a huge number of pages on, but they also cover things like health, wellness, stress, sexuality, diversity, because we know that's part of what helps students make it through their first year.
in summary, this is a very comprehensive approach. It looks at the whole student. It's holistic. Anything that might affect student success is fair game for our textbooks. It's reflected in the comprehensive content and in what we urge instructors to do in these courses.